Hey, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are talking about something huge, how to speak like a leader. We're going to break down how you can stop just giving a presentation and start delivering a performance that truly inspires people. Let's dive in.
So let's just start with a really blunt take on this from communication expert Bert Decker. After decades of coaching top executives, his conclusion is pretty stark. He says, the very people who need to be inspiring, well, most of them just aren't.
Okay, so that raises a huge question for any of us in a leadership role, or aspiring to be, right? Why is that? And more importantly, how can you be different? What's the secret to actually breaking that mold and becoming a speaker who connects and really truly leads?
Well, it turns out the core problem is that most people misunderstand the goal entirely. They think speaking is about transferring information, just downloading data from their brain to the audiences. But that's not it at all. Real leadership communication is about forging a genuine human connection.
And you know what the key to that connection is? It's something that might surprise you. It's vulnerability. Now, a lot of us are taught to see that as a weakness, right? But the research is clear. Vulnerability is absolutely essential for building trust. It's what makes a leader seem real, relatable, and human.
But here's the cool part. The solution isn't some brand new, trendy management hack. Nope. It's a powerful framework that's been around for over 2,000 years, straight from the mind of the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle. He called it rhetoric. And don't let the word intimidate you. It's just a fancy term for the art of persuasion. And what Aristotle did was break it down into three powerful pillars, three appeals that, honestly, every great leader uses whether they realize it or not.
Okay, first up is ethos. Think of this as your credibility, your character. It's the reason the audience trusts you. Not just what you're saying, but you, the person saying it. It is literally the foundation for everything else.
Next, you've got pathos. This is the appeal to emotion. If ethos is the foundation, pathos is the heart. This is all about making the audience feel something. It's what moves them from just listening to actually caring. And finally, there's logos. This is the appeal to logic, the brain of your operation. It's the clear, coherent argument, the reason and evidence that makes sure your message isn't just felt, but that it actually makes sense.
All right, so let's dig into each of these, starting with ethos. How do you actually build that foundation of credibility and trust? Well, it all circles back to that idea we talked about a minute ago, vulnerability.
You know, researcher Brené Brown has an amazing way of putting this. She says vulnerability is about uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. It's about having the guts to show up even when you can't control what happens. And for a leader, that's how you show you're a real person.
So what does this look like in the real world? Well, it means having the courage to say, you know what, I don't have all the answers. It means sharing a story about a time you messed up. It means actually asking your team for their honest feedback and meaning it. It's about being transparent.
Now, on the flip side, you want to know the #1 killer of authenticity? The fastest way to destroy all that credibility you're trying to build? It's reading your speech, word for word. Think about it. When you're reading, you kill any chance of real eye contact. Your voice goes flat and monotone. It sounds like you're reading someone else's words, not speaking your own. You're trapped. It just sucks all the energy and connection right out of the room. It is a total performance killer.
Okay, so once you've built that foundation of trust with ethos, you can move on to pathos. This is where the magic really happens. This is how you go from just informing people to actually inspiring them.
And what's the most powerful tool for creating that emotional connection? It's storytelling. Look, facts and data are important. That's your logos. We'll get to it. But facts talk to the logical brain. Stories create an experience. They talk to the heart. And that's what sticks with people.
So here's a huge shift for you to make when you're prepping your next talk. Don't just ask, what information do I need to get across? Instead, start by asking, how do I want my audience to feel? Do you want them to feel energized, inspired, maybe even a little challenged? That's your starting point.
And you get there by letting your own passion show. If you're excited, they'll feel it. Talk to them like you're having a conversation, not giving a lecture. You got to read the room, adapt your energy, and of course, weave in those personal stories to make your points at home.
Okay, so you've built trust with ethos and connection with pathos. Now, you need to tie it all together with logos. This is the logic and clarity that makes sure your big, inspiring message actually makes sense and gives people a clear path forward.
And when it comes to the structure of your argument, simple is almost always better. You don't need something super complex. A simple 5-step journey like this works wonders. You hook them,
Define a problem they care about, offer your solution, tell them what to do next, and close with a bang.
There's this great idea, often tied to Steve Jobs, that if you can't boil your message down to just a few words, you don't really understand it yet. And that is so true. Great leaders are clarifiers, not complicators. So be ruthless. Cut the jargon. Focus on the one big idea you need them to walk away with.
And of course, your logos gets put to the ultimate test in the Q&A session. But listen, the goal here isn't to be a know-it-all. It's to be honest. If you don't know, say so. If you can't share something, explain why. Staying calm, listening, and being transparent actually builds more trust than having a slick, perfect answer for every single question.
So let's wrap this up. Here's your playbook. For your ethos, be real. Ditch the script. For your pathos, be a storyteller. Focus on the feeling. And for your logos, be clear. Have one powerful idea and a simple structure to deliver it. That's it.
When you bring these three ancient pillars together, ethos, pathos, and logos, you stop just giving a presentation and you start delivering a performance. And that's really what leadership speaking is all about. So think about it. Your next speech isn't just a talk. It's a performance. It's your stage. The question is, how will you command it?